we have Raji Srinivasen. Raji is an associate professor of marketing here at the McCombs School. She received a master's in physics, and later on an MBA from the Indian Institute of Management, her PhD from Penn State. Her research focuses on marketing strategy, organizational innovation, marketing metrics, and looks a lot at how we can actually succeed in turbulent environments.
I wanted to sort of look at, or Galen's basically asked me to look at organic growth as a mechanism for a way to grow in these times. And I actually want to set the stage a little bit and think about the recession itself. And I understand that I was not able to make the earlier session. I just came in from Boston, but in the earlier session there was a talk of what happens in recessions. What essentially happens in recessions, and we've seen this before and it happens time and time again, is that consumers are frozen. And consumers are frozen because they don't have the purchasing power. And the good question then is, what should firms do? And I come from this with a marketing perspective. What should firms do with respect to sort of investing for organic growth, right? So one option to do is just to sort of pull back. So just wait for this to sort of subside and then come in. But my own research, and if you look at the evidence around, suggests that it may not be a great strategy for all firms. Why is that? There are tectonic shifts during recessions when market shares of firms shift a lot. Companies that are in the top 10% in market share move down to the bottom, and those that are at the bottom move up. So really one way to sort of think about this for organic growth is that recession is a time of opportunity. Now this might seem strange and maybe a little Pollyannish, coming and saying, okay, now is this really true? But I want to sort of provide you some evidence as to why this might be the case. Let's look at what happens in recessions. Recessions are a time when everything is called to question. So it really is a time when you can take strategic decisions. So in terms of organic growth, what comes to mind? Think about brands. How do we grow brands? New products, channels, and markets. And I would sort of say that this might really be a time to sort of reassess everything. Decisions which may not have been possible during normal times get questioned, and you can actually take bold decisions. What else happens? There is supply side efficiencies. Costs go down. Just as there are targets of opportunity for acquisition, I would argue that there are targets of opportunity for people, targets of opportunity for R&D, advertising, and this really is a time to sort of think about investing. Is this true, therefore, for all firms? Clearly not, right? Because recessions are also times when firms fail, and a large number of them fail. So it's not really the prescription for all firms, but if you are looking like you are positioned to sort of survive the recession, this may really be a time to invest, because remember, and this is something that seems not possible at this time, but typically every time there is a recession, there is a recovery. That's the good news. It takes time. And it may be a time to invest in brands, channels, and markets. The fourth point that I really want to sort of stress is that it's also a time to question operations in terms of promotions, in terms of product packaging, in terms of pricing, to really sort of capitalize. So I would like to sort of say that this is a time for organic growth because there are targets of opportunity on your supply side. There are targets of opportunity awaiting you when the recession finishes, and you sort of have to position yourself in various dimensions to capitalize on this opportunity.